welcome to your Pilates full body flow for today. We are going to be working through some of my favorite Pilates moves, so I hope that you really enjoy this flow for today. You won't need any equipment, just a mat is fine, and if you don't have a mat, just grab a towel or find some carpet, whatever you've got at home will work for today. Making sure that you're just taking the options that are going to work best for your body. Listening to your body is so important, and if anything doesn't feel right for today, just have a break, have a pause, and come back in if and when you are ready. So for today, we're going to start in our 4-point kneeling. So I'm going to get you to bring your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips here. We'll just start to warm up through our spine with some cat and cow stretches. So I just want you to arch your back. Eye gaze is going to come up to the ceiling, and we're going to find a rounding of our spine and look through to our knees. Arching our back, eye gaze up towards the ceiling and rounding through our spine, eye gaze towards our knees. Now it's really important as we come into our arch here that we're still keeping that core engaged and switched on. As we come into this arch, we don't want that belly to just drop or sag down to the mat. So we still have that engagement of our core the whole time through this movement. Okay, one more here, arching our back, eye gaze up towards the ceiling, round through, and from here I just want you to drop down into your child's pose. Take an inhale here and an exhale, coming up into our 4-point kneeling to find our neutral spine. Now our neutral spine is going to be somewhere in between that cat and cow that we found. We're going to have a nice long back posterior chain. So from our tip of our head to our tailbone, it's like I'm pulling a string and it's nice and long. With those hands underneath the shoulders, I want you to drop down into a tricep hover, so bend at the elbows, and then push back up to your 4-point kneeling. Bending at the elbows, pushing back up. So coming into some tricep hovers here, and we're going to start to feel that burn very quickly. If you're struggling to feel the burn, then I just want you to make sure that those elbows are tucked in line with your wrists. The other thing that we really want to look out for here is that we want to keep those hips and knees in line with each other. So we shouldn't be seeing any rocking from the knees. It's just a bend in our elbows. Then we're going to come through 5 more of these, and we're going to add in a hover. So we've got 3. Don't forget to breathe. 2. Last one here, dropping halfway down and hovering. Push your body weight forward a little bit so our head is over those hands, and we should really be feeling that burn here. Take one more breath, pushing up into our 4-point kneeling. Dropping down to our full tricep hover again for 5, 4, breathe through. We've got 2, 1, drop halfway and hover, leaning forward that little bit more. Inhale, exhale, pushing up to 4-point kneeling. One more time here. 5 full tricep hovers. Feeling that burn but breathing through it. We've got 2, 1, drop down halfway and hold. Lean yourself forward slightly. Hold for 3, 2, 1, pushing yourself up. Now we're going to combine those 2 movements together. So I want you to start in your child's pose. Have a quick rest here, a nice big inhale and exhale. You're going to draw your forehead along the mat and use your triceps to push you up into your cow stretch. Rounding through your back, find your cat, back into your child's pose. Forehead is going to glide along the mat. Use your triceps to push you up into your cow pose. Arching through the back, dropping down into your child's pose. forehead drags along the mat. Use your triceps to push you up into cow. Find your cat, eye gaze through to your knees, dropping down to child's pose here. One more time, forehead drags along the mat. Use your triceps to push you up. Finding your rounded cat and back into your child's pose here. Take a little break in your child's pose. Now, we're going to move through an extension of what we just worked on. If at any point it gets too much, you can come back to the tricep hovers that we were just working on then. When you're ready, finding your 4-point kneeling. I'm going to get you to tuck those toes under and push yourself up into your full plank. We'll just take a moment here to set up our full plank. So making sure that our hands are underneath our shoulders. We're pushing up into those shoulders. Our back is in a nice straight line. So we don't want any arching or rounding here. We want a nice straight back. From here, we're going to pike those hips up, push those heels to the ground and find your down dog. I want you to walk out your feet here. So just feeling a nice stretch through the posterior chain before we add in some more arm work. On this next one, come back into your full plank. Inhale. As you exhale, I want you to pike those hips up. Find your down dog and walk out those heels. One more time here, coming back into your full plank. Hold here for an inhale. As you exhale, pike those hips out, walk out those feet. Now I'm going to get you to lift up onto your tippy toes. Eye gaze is going to be down towards your toes. So we don't want to be looking forward, but we also don't want to be tucking that chin under. A nice neutral spine will mean that we're looking towards our toes. Bending our elbows, dropping our head down to the mat. We're going to come into some pike push-ups here. So our hips are still up towards the ceiling. We're bending through those elbows, dropping our head down for 3, for 2, for 1. Find your full plank. Drop those knees down and have a quick rest in your child's pose here. We're just going to work through our pike push-ups one more time. When you're ready, find your 4-point kneeling, tuck those toes under and come into your full plank. Core is engaged, we're pushing up out of those shoulders and they're away from our ears. Pike those hips up to the ceiling. We'll just walk out those feet twice each side. Up onto your tippy toes. Eye gaze towards our toes for a nice neutral spine. Bend in your elbow, drop your head down. We have 5 pike push-ups here. Feeling that in your shoulders. We have 2. The last one. Full plank. Drop those knees down. Come into your child's pose. Now we've got one more extension that we're going to go through, working into those shoulders and our upper back muscles here. When you are ready, finding your 4-point kneeling, tuck those toes under, come up into your full plank. Now, I want you to keep those elbows into your side body. We're going to drop down for a tricep push-up and hold. Toes are going to bend under as we come up into our up dog. So in our up dog here, it's just our toes and feet on the ground. We have our thighs and our hips off the ground. Shoulders are back. So we should be feeling our back engaged here. Tuck those toes under. Push yourself up into your down dog. Walk out those feet twice each. And then find your full plank.
from your full plank, we're going to drop ourselves down into our tricep hopper. Now, if it's too much from full plank, come onto your knees and do it from your knees. From there, come up onto your toes, into your up dog position. Roll those shoulders back so we're feeling our back engaged. Tuck those toes under, up, with our hips piked. We're coming into our down dog. Walk out those feet. We're going to go through it one more time. Find your full plank. From your full plank or your knees, tricep push up. Toes come under. Push up to up dog. Squeeze those back muscles. Tuck your toes. Come up into your down dog. Walk those feet out. Full plank. Knees down. And rest in your child's pose. Just allow yourself 3 breaths here, slowing your breathing down. I want you to inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Big inhale, exhale. One more here. Then when you're ready, coming onto your back, we're going to work through our glutes with some glute bridges. We're going to have a bend in our knees. Our feet are going to be in line with our hips. Let's just work through some pelvic rocks here, just to get our core engaged and switched on in this new position. So what you can do is have your hands in a diamond. You're going to have the palms of your hands onto your hip bone, and then your fingers and thumb are going to meet in a diamond position. So rocking through our pelvis, we're arching our back, and then we're flattening our back into the ground, arching our back, flattening our back into the ground. Find your neutral. In your neutral position here, the thumbs and the fingers should be pretty much in line with each other, and that's going to help you find your neutral spine. I want you to ground your feet into the mat. You can have your hands resting on your hips, or for extra support, resting down onto the mat. Push up into your heels. Feel your glutes engage. Lower back down. Push up into your heels. Glutes and hamstrings are going to engage. Lower back down. Now we started by finding our neutral spine and getting that lower core engaged with our pelvic tilts. So as you're pushing up through your heels into your glute bridge, I just want you to make sure that we're keeping that nice straight spine as we push up and lower back down, and that we have that core engaged as well. On this next one, I want you to lift and hold. Squeezing through your glutes. Core is engaged. We're just going to hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering and lifting for our full glute bridge here. So each time you are pressing up, we should feel a strong connection between our heels and the mat, and that's going to really help us engage the glutes and even the hamstrings here. After 3 more, I'm going to get you to hold up. So on this one, holding up, squeeze those glutes, core is engaged. We're going to hold for 5, 4, use your breath, 2, 1, lowering it back down, straight back up. We've got 5 more full glute bridges here. 3, 2, 1, holding up. On this hold, I really want you to check in with your hips and make sure that those hips are in line with each other and that we're not favouring one side over the other. Engage those glutes. Hands can be down on the mat for extra support. I want you to lift your right leg up to the ceiling. It can be straight, it can be bent. We're going to lower down and push through that left heel. So really working into the left glute on this one. We're aiming here to still make sure that those hips are level with each other. So even though that right leg is either straight or bent, we shouldn't have a dip on that right side. It should still be coming up evenly with the left side. Let's go for 3. Last 2. Last 1. Lower that right heel back down. Lower your bottom down. Bring those knees into your chest and just have a little rock out here. All right, let's go into our other side. So setting up our glute bridge. Our feet are going to be in line with our hips. Core is engaged. Pushing through our grounded heels for our full glute bridge here. We'll go for 3 more full bridges. 2, 1, lift up and hold. Check in with those hips, make sure they're in line with each other, pushing through those heels to really feel those glutes engage. 3, 2, 1, lower back down, push up through our heels. 3, 2, 1, lift and hold. Are those glutes even? Are our hips in line with each other? We've got 3, 2, 1, lowering back down but pushing straight back up for 5, 4, 3, 2, on this one, holding up. Our left leg is going to come either straight up to the ceiling or in a bent position. Engage that right glute. We're going to lower down, lifting up, lower down, lifting up. So now we should really be feeling that glute engagement in our right side. Should be burning. Make sure we're pushing up through the heel. We've got 3, 2 more, use your breath. Last one here, hold it up. Left foot lowers down, lowering our back down. Knees to chest, and give your back a little bit of a roll out here. Beautiful work. Hands behind your knees, roll yourself up to seating here. I want you to bring your hands down onto the mat, finding your 4-point kneeling. We're going to go into a quick core series before we have a cool down here. So hands are in line with our shoulders. Tuck those knees under. Come up into a knee hover. Lower back down. Up into a knee hover. Lower back down. So as we're coming up into our knee hover, our knees are staying in line with our hips. We still have that nice neutral spine. So not dipping or arching, just a nice straight back here. And we don't have to have a huge lift off. It's sort of just like a fist underneath your knees. On this next one, hold. We're going to lift and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lower back down. Up into your knee hovers again. We're going to work through 3 more, and then we'll lift and hold again. 2, and 1, lift and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. So 5 full knee hovers here. Eye gaze is looking down towards your mat, so we have a nice straight back. Last 2. On this one, lift and hold. Our right leg is going to extend back behind us. Left leg behind us. Bring your right leg back in, left leg back in. dropping down. Up into your knee hover. Extend your right leg. Extend your left leg. Right leg comes in, left leg comes in, lowering down. Knee hover. Right leg out. Left leg out. Right leg in, left leg in, lowering back down. One more time. Lifting up to knee hover. Right leg comes out, left leg comes out. Pause here in full plank. We're going to pike up our hips as our right leg comes back to touch as our right arm comes back to touch our left leg. Forward to full plank. Pike up your hips. Left leg comes back to touch opposite leg. And repeat. So as we're piking up our hips, our hand is coming back to touch the opposite leg. We're building up that heart rate, working on our core, all at the same time. We're going to work through 2 more each side. Use your breath to help you. Last one here, holding our full plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees come down. Find your child's pose. Rest your head down onto the mat. If that's not right for you, bring your hands into 2 fists and you can rest your hands onto your fists. Just taking a moment here to catch our breath. Inhale through your mouth. Exhale. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Extend those arms out in front of you. I want you to reach both hands over to the left side in your child's pose. Feel a beautiful stretch up your right side waist here. Hands back into the middle. And they're going to creep around to your right side. Feel a beautiful stretch up your left side waist. Back into the middle. When you're ready, come up into the seated position here. I hope that you enjoyed your full body flow of all my favorite shoulder, arm, glute, and core work. If you have any feedback or questions, please let me know. I can't wait to hear from you. Enjoy the rest of your day.